Well, hello everybody, we've arrived at CREWE. Never been here in my life before, so let's give it a go. Let's go and have a ramble around and see what we can find. Sadly, the Heritage Centre, which very big train heritage centre here, is only open on a Saturday, which seems rather ridiculous, seeing it could be quite, well, I suppose a visitor attraction. So anyway, we'll go into the city centre, or is it a town, and see what we can find. I could just see in the distance some of the old rolling stock from old, and seems to be part of, I presume it's part of the Heritage Centre, unless it's just lying there. And is that CREWE Alexander in the background? I wonder. It's funny actually, I remember long ago in the days when I actually knew something about football, besides the fact that it was played with a round ball and you had to spit on the ground and run around with your shirt over your head if you actually managed to score a goal. But many years ago, before the dreadful comedians that we see infesting television came up with what they thought was an original joke, my late great uncle once told me, I couldn't have been more than 11 years of age, that CREWE Alexander had renamed, or was it Alexandra? I'm not sure. Anyway, they'd renamed their football team to CREWE Alexandra Nil, and that was long before the comedians got hold of that joke. Let's get into the town centre and stop wittering. The CREWE Arms Hotel, dating from 1830. Yes, very well, different. Well, not too far from the station, we've been greeted by the Royal Hotel. And we seem to have, as we walk along past the station, a little bit of an Epicurean centre. I know definition of Epicurean will vary between different people, but this is the, well, the way into the centre. Yes, we're surrounded on both sides. And, well, pizza places. There's a Papa John's over there. A nice little littery thing encouraging youngsters to put their litter in the bin. Oh, and regulars will know how I wet myself when I see misspellings. How wonderful. And just over here we seem to have a British lion. And just realised, not really seen a Tudor effect thingy for a long time in places I've visited. Well, welcome to CREWE. The Brunswick Hotel seems to be a shadow of its former self, sadly. And then, oh, Newbie and Me, I presume that's for the younger generation. And a bus goes to Newcastle. Oh, not the Newcastle we know, YA man. Just as well I didn't need some paracetamol, it seems to be closed. And the Express here is open 7 days a week, except today. Presumably today is not a day of the week. And we've got Thigh Corner. Let's just have a look around and see if there's any elbow quarter or leg quarter or anything else. Interesting play on words there. Taking care. Oh, it's a sort of corny joke I'd have. Oh, some nice flowery things outside the Nantwich Road Social Club. Interesting little bungalow hidden away. I seem to have stumbled on an old part of CREWE with decidedly Victorian large terraces. And it seems not just the bloop John B, but Butters John B seems to be very evident in this particular area. Now there's one I've not heard of before. And quite a nice little looking one as well it is too. The Christadelphian Hall. Well, and opposite it we have the Today restaurant. So if anybody has visited yesterday or intends to come tomorrow, don't bother. It's only the Today restaurant. Unusual Chinese, but very closed emporium. Up to the thing there that's probably about, nears makes no difference, to 5 foot tall. Not my cup of tea, I'll be honest. As we approach the town centre, yes, I found out it's a town, not a city. Don't hold out much with all the brutalist architecture around, to be quite honest. Oh, look. Polish flavours. Tried them myself, but they gave me awful indigestion. Oh, I've just seen in Polish flavours. Ah, look at this. This is awful. Traditional Polish dumplings. Pierogi. Oh, and it's closed. Still have to make do maybe with the Wetherspoons. And one of the local bin shops I told you about on previous videos. Yes, they always have the bins outside, but can you blame them? They take up so much room. And any bunch of pound, which you see a relatively colourful display in fairness, and very easy to upkeep. They only need watering once every 3 years. Oh, and the brushes. Hey, we've got brushes. Wonderful. Oh, and another stupid twee statement. Regis, work your way. Well, of course I want to work my way. That's what I'm paying you for. I don't want to work your way, otherwise I wouldn't bother paying you. Not that I do anyway. Sorry, getting angry and grumpy. And the new hat to prove it. Look, there we go. The gambling den is in an unusual building. And as we come into the town centre proper, anybody from Ireland will be amused at that, because bo bo bo, that translates as cow cow cow. And there she blows. CREWE. I went in there, but I wasn't drunk enough. Well, at least Starbucks are making a go. Lovely pavement cafe. Well, yes. Yeah. Won't say a word. Let's go further into the town. Oh, I should sue them for copyright and IP, because I do an awful lot of huffing and puffing. And this is the pedestrian precinct ahead. Let's see what delights we can find. Sadly, an awful lot of empty shops. Lovely flowers, mind you. Another one here. And another one here. And Meltis. Well, it's getting hot. I hope it doesn't. More shops and places to let. And the former Burton store. Another empty shop. Gosh, I'm delighted he's on my side. And very sadly, all these closed shops. They're at the walkway entrance to the market shopping centre, which doesn't bode well when you come out of the shopping centre and see all the closed shops. And beside Burton, there's another pedestrian walkway. I should mention, in fairness, it's only midday on a Tuesday, which is not exactly the busiest day in any town. And as I say, I compliment CREWE Council. The flowers are gorgeous. I do perk up when I see a little bit of Tudorization, but not too sure what this is all about. And there's a very interesting toppage to that particular building. No, I'm not going to make any comments about hairdressers. I've only seen about 70 so far. Oh dear. You come in from the shopping centre, into the shopping centre, should I say, and you're greeted by the former Clinton's Card Emporium, closed. Discounted clothing has discounted itself out of business, and nobody seems to be selecting Select anymore. Well, I've just been given instructions. They were nice, by a lady with them. Unfortunately, I have canine constipation and I can't pass anybody with a dog. But 2 seconds away from where I spoke to her, one of the great, iconic CREWE institutions, the Lyceum. And be prepared, awful joke coming ahead. It dates back to 7:10. Well, just gone. But that's the famous Lyceum, folks. And naturally enough, it's listed as being of architectural interest. And just behind, I spied a rather modern-looking Grand Junction traditional craft union house, and I thought, oh, we found our spoons. But no, we haven't. The only spoons in there are the ones it'll serve coffee with, to stir it, that is. Probably the reality stars and the social influencers will be going full pelt to try and get a part in that. As an old rocker, not my cup of tea, but Russell Watson is absolutely superb. And it seems everybody's talking about Jamie. Well, I'm not, except wondering when Jamie Oliver, from his £180 million fortune, is going to pay the £6 million to the artisan suppliers who he never paid when he went out of business with his rather urine poor restaurant chain that time. I picked a non-market day. This is the covered indoor market. And, oh, this is an interesting building. Let's go and find out a little bit more about this one. Slight mistake made. It seems that's the outdoor market, covered though it is, and this is the indoor market hall. Ugh, I didn't bring my riding bikes or my scooters, so I can't not use them in the hall. Oh dear. Yes, non-market day. I bet this is hopping when there's a market on, with all these seats and little eating places. Oh, this is called the cheese hall. Maybe I need to come back when it's a little bit busier and refresh some of my jokes, perhaps. Oh, and very Cartagena in Colombia, if I might say so. Looks a nice place. Beside the market hall, I think I detect a little bit of town hallery going on. Let's go and have a closer investigation. Yes, next to the market hall is the CREWE Municipal Buildings. Although it's only one of them, but they always seem to put it in the plural. Oh, nice little, oh, there we are. I don't know if you can see it, but there was a Stevenson rocket as a wind vane on the top. And right opposite the municipal gardens, we've got another icon in CREWE, which is the Memorial Square. Sun is in the wrong direction, I'm afraid, but I must get some conspiracy theorists to change it, because, as you know, I'm sure you're aware, the earth is flat and that cats continually push everything off the edge, which proves it. Sorry, I'm being facile now. And at the base of the statue, there's a memorial which you might be able to read, I don't know, but I'll just hold for a moment. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. To the fallen, Lawrence Binion, 1914. Nice little mini garden area here. You can't bring your pigeons with you, I'm afraid. Actually, seriously, you can't feed them, which is, do not leave feed for the birds. And it's just outside the law courts here, which is opposite the Memorial Square. Let's have a look at the little non-blue plate. A 2023 National Anti-Violence Charter to renounce all forms of violence. And then beside the courts and the Cheshire Constabulary, I don't know if the Cheshire Constabulary grin or not. Sorry, awful joke. But they're doing a little bit of a regeneration here in full swing. It seems a £15 million investment in CREWE, and that's the Towns Fund and Future High Street funding. £2.3 million there to support says he, CREWE's Towns regeneration. And there's a view of the market hall in the background, and the Civic offices, and then just as you can see, the memorial. Oh, he's got himself a nice penalty notice under the Cheshire Constabulary and within the law courts car parking. Well, just leave it there and then come back and defend yourself. For parking, that is. Oh, this looks interesting. Now, opposite the municipal buildings, I spied this, which I thought was the parish church, but with my newfound knowledge, no flag flying from the top. And I thought, oh gosh, given the heritage for trains in CREWE and the war, this must be bombed out. And then I thought, no, it's not. It's had a fire. It's had a fire. And as I was wandering around looking, met this absolutely lovely couple who told me that it was a result of dry rot. Sounds like my jokes. That caused these problems. By the way, I just digress for a moment. These are all name plaques full to the brim. Hundreds of people on 5 of these plinths who were commemorated for losing their lives to protect the country. Anyway, as I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself, it did look like there were church services, but just look at this. This is very imposing. I love this sort of thing, as you know. Absolutely incredible. Lovely main entrance with, I hope you can see the two heads just by the doorway. And it's a shame what they call the lights or the windows all smashed. A potentially beautiful window and everything boarded up. But I think you'll agree, it does look like it's suffered a fire. But as I say, the lovely couple I met, the young lady went on Tinternet, which I should have done myself. I'm just lazy, you see. And explained that a lot of people do think it was because of fire or bomb damage, but it was neither. Just sort of rot. They couldn't get the equivalent of a dentist to fill in the decay. And here it is from the other side. That's sorry about the railings. And then presumably the part of the church that is still in operation. And then opposite the church we've got the library and a bit of a family hub. Nice to see a hub. I won't dilly-dally too long. I have a suspicion that might be a swimming pool. And there we go. One thing I've noticed as I've gone on my rambles wandering around the place is you meet such wonderful people. It's fabulous. And there are people like myself who, you know, they don't have their heads stuck in the phone. Well, I've got mine stuck now while I'm making this video. But they haven't got their heads stuck in the phone. They like to chat to you and they engage with you and you find out so much information. And actually, I have a little bit of regret now. I should have got the lovely couple I just met, should have got them on video and asked the young lady to explain what she found out instead of me yakking all the time and driving you to distraction. But anyway, let's continue and see if there's anything else we can find. Oh, we've got Hops, a Belgian-style cafe. I presume it's made of chocolate, or either owned by Hercule Poirot, or maybe Eddie Merckx. I've run out of famous Belgians now. Ah, laneway ahead. You know what this means? After all my excitement, I'll get to the top, and it'll just be a main road. Ah, it's not just any main road. It's Market Street, where I first started. Oh, we're back at Discount Bargain Store in CREWE and Warhammer. I wonder what the arena was in its old days. An old restaurant that's now Metz down the bottom of this particular street. And needless to say, NCP, the P standing for parasites, want you to pay £12.50 a day to take the train. Wonderful. Well, very sadly, I have to concede defeat. Nothing against the town of CREWE, please don't get me wrong, but not an awful lot to see or explore further than the usual. I've had a good old wander. I'm now deficit of 13,000 steps and have virtually run out of anything to video. So I do apologize. So all I can say is thank you for joining me to my little trip to CREWE. Sorry I couldn't make it more enthusiastic and sort of in your face, but see you next time. Take care now.